Robin.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus. Sirius-XM.
I keep going back to the coffee thing because I was a big coffee guy as well.
Yeah.
And when Starbucks did hit, it made it convenient that there were more nice coffee places around because you really had to search them out like you're talking about.
Right.
And I didn't live anywhere near Harvard Square, so a Starbucks was like nice instead of shitty diner coffee.
Right.
But then Starbucks didn't care about their product in the end. At first, the coffee was amazing.
Yeah,
but you've watched it drop
compete.
over the years.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to compete.
Now you know the beans they're getting have to be just shitty.
Of course they are.
They have to be.
They're not going to work hard for your money.
Why would they?
They've got
I
it.
explain
At
this
first,
shit
they
to
needed your money, so they worked hard for it.
Exactly. I explain this shit to my kids all the time because we'll go off the beaten path. We'll go 3 blocks over and spend 40 more cents. What are we doing with this precious money? That people are like, well, I'm saving so that I can buy some fucking video game, have a video game experience for 10 seconds that evaporates from my existence later. What are we saving the money for? But we go a few blocks over, spend a few more cents to go to like a butcher.
Yeah.
Instead of going to, that Price Chopper, we go to a fucking New York City butcher.
Yeah.
Where the guy's got a red face. How you doing, my man? And,
blood all over his fucking little apron that he's wearing.
Gets his steaks from a fucking place where there's like a direct line from the cow to the steak.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, instead of this fucking ShopRite, probably some human parts in the steak thing.
I was going to... somebody go, oh, you want to get something for lunch? Let's go to like Subway or something. I'm like, why would you not just go to a deli and get a real sandwich made on a hero roll that was in a bakery that morning and the driver took it over to
a place where they're not going to measure the meat.
No, I remember I was
a guy
all pre-cut.
Where the local guy goes, oh,
Sucks.
Anthony, you've been a good customer. Here's a few extra slices. The
Yeah.
Subway, they actually weigh their meat and their tomatoes to make sure it's the proper weight.
I was in a Subway once somewhere in Arizona. And I was driving across the country, and I stopped. And it was a Subway inside of a fucking Sunoco station. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
and
boy.
there was the fucking kid working there. Was this depressed-looking kid that he cut his own hair like there was chunks. Cut his own hair. Skinny fucking just depressed-looking, pale American. And the kid he's serving is this exact same person.
Oh, shit.
Like he's just different colored version. Like in Star Wars, there was R2-D2, but then there'd be like a red version of it.
Yes,
like
the red R2-D2.
Yeah. It's just kind of basic. And one guy, and he's going, what kind of sauce do you want on? And he's like, and like, I guess I'll go ahead and get the green one. And he's making it for him. And I wanted him to say, should I just eat it too? Does it even make a difference which one of us eats it? Like everyone's just on one side of the counter or the other. There's no identity to any American. Nothing. The only identity you have is what your sauce choice is.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing you get now is like, well, I particularly like.
You do make this grim kind
sauce.
of image of I don't see this going to a good place.
No, it's not, man.
No, it's not. Man. No, it's not. Man.
The only good thing that could happen is that it all falls.
That it just all collapses.
It all dies, and everyone has to look around them and go, "What could I piece together and
maybe
sell?"
Maybe recycle
for my friends.
A little bit, maybe
post-apocalyptic lifestyle
would be terrific.
Yeah,
we got a timing issue, so we're going to take a break because we got Rummy calling right at 8:30.
Oh boy,
what happened?
Just Rummy.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Can't wait.
His new book, Known and Unknown, a memoir. So
you think we'll know some of the unknown?
I ain't
Do you think he's going to fess with the unknown?
I'm going to go ahead and tell those Opie and Anthony fellas stuff that I never told anyone.
There's the show I'm going to break all the news on.
More with Louis C.K.
Now's a good time as any to tell him that Gerald Ford is still alive. Why not? Why not these guys?
Why don't we ask him that weird shit then? See what he says.
About Roswell.
Louis killing this morning, and Louis C.K. is going to be at the Borgata April 23rd. For tickets, go to Borgata.com. BORGART. No, that's not it.
What?
They misspelled the website, right?
That's awesome.
Borgata.
There's no R in the end of Borgata, right?
Borgata.
Google it. No, it's BORGATA.com for tickets for Louis C.K.
If you have a computer to go online, right?
Right.
Just Google the fucking thing.
Borgata.
Like I never
Does
understand.
anybody
It's like,
need to know
how
the
do you
website?
Spell it like really kind of anything you can't spell.
Even
just throw it in.
The browsers finally, you just put it in the URL.
Right,
Someone
right.
figured out these fucking people don't get it.
They said, "Hey, dummy, this is how it's really spelled."
Just write it with your finger on the screen. And
Right, we'll figure it out.
I don't even use like dictionary.com or like Merriam-Webster. I'll just go to Google, type in the word that I know I'm misspelling,
Yes.
and it says, "Did you mean the correct spelling?"
Now you know the correct.
Now I know.
Yeah.
We
And you
need
don't
our
even need
brains
to know
anymore.
it. You can continue spelling it wrong after that.
You know, you used to
Doesn't
have
matter.
to go to a library and speak to the librarian about that.
That's right.
And she would direct you to a book. That's
right.
Libraries
Help you
used to be
out.
kind of cool too. Man.
Libraries.
In New York,
to
it's
go to
very
that.
different. It's just that's where homeless people shit now.
Do you-
We're a
Yes.
library.
Oh, speaking of which, we got the bench story.
Oh, yes.
Right.
With the
it's,
drugs and the sex.
One last thing. Encyclopedias. The house that had the encyclopedias, but then they would become dated so quickly that a few short years later, borders move and people take over power. And you just read these encyclopedias. But that was like your internet.
That's
that
right.
was the only information you were able to get at the drop of a hat was in your encyclopedias in your house. You used to sit there and toil if you didn't know something and couldn't find it out in your house through some kind of book or
Well,
newspaper.
by the way,
you didn't know it.
Where this stuff is good is things like the internet, because if you lived in, Oshkosh, Michigan or someplace, you weren't going to get a cool book. You weren't going to get Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and you weren't going to get an Iggy Pop album.
Right.
You were going to get a Pat Boone album and whatever, and Encyclopedia Britannica. That's it. You had to live on that.
Yeah.
But
now-
hey, you throw on a leather jacket and leave town. You fucking, what's your problem?
Yeah. Get off
Louis,
the
You gonna stay in
farm.
your house?
Get off the farm.
Louis, just great social commentary today. Holy
love
shit.
it.
You opened my eyes to a bunch of shit. Quick break. Donald Rumsfeld next. Stay there.
Tell him, Fred.
The Virus. Sirius-XM.